FoxNews.com. Wednesday. First, live, local. The 10 o'clock news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
Tonight, payback. More than 2 years after the new Carissa runs aground off the Oregon coast, a jury awards millions to the state. Will this be the final chapter in Oregon's black eye on the coast? We take a look tonight, first on Fox. Good evening, I'm Shauna Parsons.
And I'm Wayne Garcia. $25 million, that is the amount the owners of the new Carissa now owe the state. A jury agreeing the company was negligent when the ship ran aground, nearly devastating 2 coastal communities. KPTV's Ryan Deal is live with a unique perspective tonight.
Wayne, it is very difficult to get an idea of just how much 70,000 gallons of shipping fuel really is. If it were to fill this pool at a hotel, it would fill the pool 14 times over, creating one of the worst disasters off the Oregon coast ever.
It wasn't only that the new Carissa ran aground off Coos Bay in February 1999. The jury also sided with angry prosecutors who say its operators created a do-nothing program for removing the ship's stern, still visible off the coast today and still burping out fuel after originally losing 70,000 of its 400,000 gallons of fuel. Years later and miles away, some in the Hawthorne neighborhood have not forgotten about the damage.
The local counties that were injured by it, their businesses were injured, the environmental issues.
Animals coated in thick ship fuel and bunker fuel washed ashore for weeks at Coos Bay. Even at Waldport, where the bow would run ashore, it broke loose from a tug out to sea during violent weather. Those parts of the ship that did sink required explosives, even a torpedo.
I'd like to be interested to know what the $25 million is going to be used for. They're going to, introduce new species or some of the same species into it.
Where the money will go is unclear. State and federal authorities already spent more than $20 million on the shipwreck.
Seems they should be using all that money to stop that stuff from happening.
Now, the governor's office says this verdict sends a clear message to those shipping off the Oregon coast that they can't simply have a shipwreck and leave the wreckage there to do the kind of damage that we've seen in this case. But remember, the Filipino crew in 1999 ran ashore because of inclement weather, so the company that operates that ship says they might appeal. We're live in Beaverton. I'm Ryan Deal, 10 o'clock news.
So here's the bottom line in the new Carissa saga. More than 4 years after the ship ran aground, a jury in Southern Oregon ruled today that the owners of the new Carissa must pay up $25 million to the state of Oregon to clean up the wreckage of the 1,500-ton stern.
Never open the door to strangers. That lesson has new meaning tonight for one Hillsborough couple. They were inside their Southeast 13th Street apartment last night when they heard a knock at the door. 3 men. The couple describes as Hispanic and in their late 20s, armed with baseball bats. The men beat the woman, hitting her in the head and all over her body with that bat. Her husband was upstairs, but he came down when he heard the commotion. They beat him too, then left the apartment. Doctors say the couple will be okay, but they were seriously beaten. Tonight, police do not have a lot to go on.
This is not, as we can tell, not over drugs. It's not a robbery. It's not gang-related. Basically appears to be random. One of the assumptions we're working on, detectives are working on, is could this be a mistaken location?
One clue, police say the men may have taken off in a black or dark-colored Nissan late-model 4-door.
3 teenagers face charges tonight. They're accused of pointing a paintball gun and firing rounds at cars during rush hour last night. True paintball players are calling the stunt just plain foolish. KPTV's Jamie Wilson joins us now live from Northeast Portland. Jamie?
Well, Shauna, on a course like this out here at Portland Paintball, it's obvious that I am holding a paintball gun or a paintball marker. This is the bucket of paintballs right up here, and down here is the air canister. And of course, when you fire it, the paintballs explode with color on your target. But paintball experts we talked to tonight says in the dark, in the wrong hands, this can look like a dangerous weapon. With a bit of compressed air and a slight tug on the trigger, this blue paintball gun fires harmless rounds of splattering color. But there are also paintball guns like this, black ones, more realistic. Even Portland paintball owner Sarah Miller says seeing this gun pointed at her on a dark highway would be threatening.
I would probably be frightened.
That's exactly what 3 teenagers were allegedly doing on I-205. 18-year-old David Pike, 18-year-old Derek Sweely and a 15-year-old were apparently pointing a gun at cars during rush hour. Drivers called 911, thinking it was a rifle. Police finally stopped them at Sunnyside Road, finding a paintball gun in the car. Portland police say the young men are facing charges for a reckless prank.
Most people that were at that age at some point engaged in some kind of foolish or behavior that they really kind of wish later that they wouldn't have done. You know, in our generation it was maybe eggs or snowballs or water balloons, and the technology has changed into paintball guns.
That's all it sounds like.
Sarah Miller doesn't think paintball guns really look or even come close to sounding like real guns. But in the hands of irresponsible people, Sarah knows this can be a dangerous image.
You know, kids will be kids, and unfortunately, that's what happens.
Now, I spoke with David Pike's former stepfather today. He said David and his friends did have a paintball gun in their car, but it was broken and the gun started firing paintballs on its own. He says that David is a good kid. He's never been in trouble. In fact, he is going into the Air Force in about a week. Live in Northeast Portland, I'm Jamie Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
The teens face several charges tonight, including reckless endangerment, disorderly conduct, and discharging a firearm within city limits.
An update tonight on Al-Qaeda, the Portland connection. 3 of the men accused of conspiring to wage war on the U.S. choose to stay in jail rather than face a bail hearing. Defense attorneys for Patrice Lumumba Ford, Mohammed Bilal, and his brother Ahmed asked for a change, fearing that incriminating tapes would be played in open court, tainting the jury pool. They say such negative publicity would make it impossible for the men to get a fair trial. Yesterday, the judge agreed to make those hearings public. U.S. intelligence officers are now taking a close listen to a tape that may prove Osama bin Laden is still alive. Experts are comparing this tape to other recordings, trying to find out if it's the real thing. Those who've listened to previous bin Laden tapes say it does sound like him, but with some changes. For months, coalition intelligence forces have said they believe bin Laden is alive and hiding out along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border.
Is Saddam Hussein hiding biological and nuclear weapons? Weapons inspectors hope to find out. Here's the latest. Today, Saddam Hussein accepted the UN resolution allowing inspectors into his country. With no conditions, no reservations, inspectors will arrive in Iraq on Monday and must report any weapons of mass destruction to the UN Security Council within 60 days of inspections.
The idea of going to war with Iraq is very unsettling to many Americans, but even more so for the people of Iraq still trying to recover from the Gulf War. KPTV's Lori Nixon spoke with local residents who are hoping Saddam keeps his word. She's live in News Control.
Well, from cable TV shows to newspaper articles, Americans are talking about what a possible war with Iraq would mean to us. But local experts say the real victims may be the people of Iraq.
Northern Iraq, 1 year after the Gulf War. Chronic poverty and poor health care are a fact of life under Saddam Hussein and UN sanctions.
There was nothing but hatred for Saddam Hussein in the areas that I went in Kurdistan.
KPTV's Gordon Coffin saw it all firsthand during an assignment in northern Iraq in 1992.
It would mean just an escalation of the hardships they live under right now, the difficult situations that they already endure, because they are really going to be the losers in this.
Mass destruction is better than not holding.
Scott Goddard also visited the region shortly after the war ended as a medical volunteer with Northwest medical teams. He watched children die from starvation and worries a war could bring more suffering here and in Iraq. His own son may be called to take part in a military strike if Saddam Hussein goes back on his word.
I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't need to happen. There's just going to be suffering throughout Iraq.
Life is so hard, the people survive by breaking the very sanctions designed to break Saddam. This seemingly endless caravan of trucks carry precious fuel to Turkey, where it's sold for thousands of dollars. The Kurdish people, supported by the U.S. and hated by the Saddam regime, charge a tax to let the trucks go through their territory. The people are desperate and determined to survive, whether in war or peace.
There's a gray area everywhere you look. There's no clear-cut solution.
All right, now in 1998, the World Health Organization reported that 5,000 to 6,000 children a month die in Iraq because of UN sanctions. We're live in News Control. Lori Nixon, the 10 o'clock news.
And Northwest Medical Teams has sent at least 10 teams to help the people of Iraq.
It was tough to miss anti-war protesters in downtown Portland today, getting their message out with some larger-than-life signs. A half dozen 6-foot-tall peace signs accompanied protesters in front of the federal building today. Organizers admit the walking peace signs are somewhat lighthearted, but there is a serious undertone. The group says a preemptive strike against Iraq is equal to state-sponsored terror. You'll be seeing more of these walking peace signs and anti-war rallies throughout the week. Of course, you'll want to keep it right here on Fox 12 Oregon for the very latest on the showdown with Saddam.
A woman who nearly drowned while storm watching off the Oregon coast is still in critical condition tonight. That accident happened Saturday at Barview County Park. 52-year-old Rebecca Johnson was standing in a parking lot when a powerful breaker swept her under her truck. Johnson was given CPR and rushed to the Emmanuel Hospital. Another person was hurt while watching the waves as well. He was taken to the hospital and later released.
Coming up, think dropping your keys off at a late-night drop box at a car dealership is safe? It's not always the case. I have an interesting story for you coming up.
Coming up, scam artists are hoping you're not paying too close attention to the news. We'll show you why coming up.
School is in today in Portland, but as many as 15 more school days may be cut before summer. We'll look at the impact on Portland Public Schools tonight on the 10 o'clock news.
And I'm David Wilson. Thousands of rats live in Portland. Some carry disease. How do you keep them out of your house? We'll tell you coming up.
And I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. We needed the rain, but all of a sudden it seems like it won't stop. Will it stop? I'll have that in my forecast. Quick look at high temperatures today. They are where they have been the last several days with the rain falling, mostly in the mid-50s. 55 degrees up in Kelso. The high at the airport was 54, a low 48. And again, a big question now. Any dry weather in sight? I'll answer that coming up in the Pinpoint forecast.
The few, the proud, are about to invade the patio. The Lawn Chair Precision Drill Team on a new hour of 30 seconds to fame. Then put the pedal to the metal for the world's fastest police chases. He's doing over 100. An all-new special, World's Fastest Police Chases. Thursday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
It was the month before Christmas, and all elves were on hand to cheer Santa Claus 2, the #1 movie in the land. #1 with the naughty, #1 with the nice, #1 with the reindeer. So take our advice. See Tim Allen in the Santa Claus 2, rated G now playing.
And coming this Thanksgiving, brace yourself. Walt Disney Pictures presents the family movie event that's already being hailed as a rare and amazing film. It's Star Wars meets Treasure Island.
I'm gonna make you proud.
Treasure Planet, rated PG, in theaters November 27th.
I love Mix 107.5.
Portland loves the new Mix 107.5.
It's a great mix. Mix 107.5. It's the best songs from the 80s and more. I love all the songs.
Billy Joel.
Elton John.
The Police.
Madonna.
Pretenders.
It's the home of the no-repeat workday.
We listen all day at work. Everyone at the office loves it. I love the 80s. It's the only station I listen to. I love the station. Mix 107.5. We love it.
Mix 107.5. The best songs of the 80s and more.
U.S. bishops agree on a punishment policy for sexually abusive priests. The victims say it's not enough. Details coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
Hey, get down here fast. They got the silver one. Okay, bye.
Claim your Volkswagen. With offers this good, they won't be around forever.
Do you feel alone, down, unhappy? Life feels hopeless? Are you tired most of the time? It could be depression, a damaging condition that can ruin your quality of life. If you're depressed, you may qualify for an investigational medication research study. Psychiatrists and medical research staff provide all research-related care and study-related medication at no cost to you. We may be able to help you understand depression. Call Pacific Northwest Clinical Research Center at 503-228-CARE.
Tomorrow on Good Day, Oregon.
I'm giving away 200 children's books to show that reading is fundamental. Find out how to get your hands on one of them.
Tomorrow on Good Day, Oregon.
Welcome back. A Clackamas County woman is the victim of an unusual crime, a crime of opportunity. Her car was stolen after she did something many car owners do every day. KPTV's Stephanie Fisher joins us now live with more. Steph, what happened?
Well, this woman had heard about a recall on her car, so she took it to the car dealership after hours. She read the instructions at one of these late-night drop-off boxes. She dropped off her keys and left the car there to get some repairs. Well, the next day when she called to ask about her car, the dealership said, "What car?" A car dealership service department isn't always open when your car has problems. That's why many have before and after hour drop-off areas where you leave your keys in your car for service. Anna Weiss took advantage of this service last month when she dropped off her PT Cruiser for repairs about 6:30 at night. The next day, she called about the car.
After, several phone calls, them searching their lot, we've all decided that our car had been stolen.
You're supposed to put the keys in an envelope like this at the dealership. Anna chose her own larger envelope because she wanted to enclose some molding that needed repair. Well, police say someone took it and took her car for a joyride. Oddly enough, Anna and her husband were driving later that night near the dealership when they saw the PT Cruiser zoom past. A nearby officer helped them out, pulled over the car, and now two young men face theft charges. But Anna still feels like the dealership let her down.
Dealerships should take responsibility for keys that are left in their security, and that they should have better security. Maybe they should drop down into a secured lockbox.
The dealership in this instance is looking into ways to make its system more secure, although the owner tells me this is the first time this has happened in the dealership's 17 years of business. They suggest when dropping off your car, follow the exact procedures for the drop box and take out your valuables, because you never know what may happen. Now, the dealership did do some minor repairs to Anna's car because it had a little bit of damage from the theft. They also offered to reimburse her for some of the CDs that were stolen, but she said it wasn't enough money. And tonight, she's told us she is speaking with a lawyer. Live tonight, I'm Stephanie Fisher for the 10 o'clock news.
Well, for anyone who's had their car stolen, this won't surprise you, but car thefts in our area are way up this year, making theft prevention devices a hot commodity. But KPTV's Anna Katayama has some tips on putting out the brakes on car thieves. Anna?
Well, Shauna, this is part of a $300 alarm system that some folks are having installed on their cars. Later tonight on the 10 o'clock news, we'll take a closer look at the alarm system. We'll also talk to police about tips about car theft prevention, and we'll also take a look at the latest numbers in terms of car thefts in this city.
A warning tonight about scammers who use their knowledge of current events to reel you in.
And if you are not up on current events, they may be able to sneak one past you. iTeam 12 will help us stay on top of things. KPTV's Carrie Tomlinson is here now to tell us what's going on. Carrie.
Well, there is a lot going on in the world of power and electricity, and here's one reason maybe you want to perk up your ears a little bit more when it comes on the news. PGE says someone is calling customers and telling them they're from a company called Mountain View Electric. The callers say Mountain View Electric has bought PGE and is offering alternative power at lower rates. What do they want from you? Your social security number and other private information, telltale signs. So what is real life? In real life, PGE is for sale, but there is no buyer yet.
So any company that's calling our customers and claiming that they've purchased us and that they're now offering some new service or deal, our customers should be very skeptical.
There is another bit of confusion. There is going to be restructuring coming up. PGE says businesses will be able to choose their power company, but residential folks will not. And the scammers may be hoping, well, you don't know the new rules, and they can convince you that you could be able to choose your own power company. Now, PGE says they have seen this before. If there is restructuring or there are changes in a state or region, scammers jump in and try to play off the confusion. Now, how can you help out? Well, if they call you, ask for more information, try to get their phone number and address, pass that on to people like PGE so they can track down the bad guys.
The scammers who are doing this, do they go by a certain name or anything like that?
That's right. The company name they are using is Mountain View Electric. And PGE thinks, well, they're trying to come up with a similar name because they have a company they're working with that is Green Mountain Energy. So they're thinking they picked that name because it sounds so similar, and you'll go, oh, well, I've heard of that. They must be okay.
Uh-oh. Okay, Carrie, thanks.
Good advice tonight. And reminder, if you have a story idea for iTeam 12, be sure and give us a call at our iTeam 12 hotline, the number right there on your screen, 503-548-6551. You can always reach us by email, too, at i-team12@kptv.com.
A former music teacher convicted of sexually abusing 3 elementary school girls will get a new trial. Last year, Thomas Iverson was sentenced to 12.5 years in prison for abusing the 3 little girls during music classes and private lessons after school. Today, the State Court of Appeals reversed the conviction and granted him a new trial. The court says prosecutors failed to notify the defense they plan to use hearsay evidence at least 15 days before the trial. Instead, prosecutors gave the defense 12 days' notice. Iverson was the music coordinator for Forest Grove Schools.
A one-time volunteer firefighter is out of jail tonight. That's despite objections of prosecutors who blame the Northwest man for setting a series of dangerous fires around the town of Corbett. Now take a look at some of the video here of former volunteer firefighter Peter Traxler, who admitted to starting 6 fires this past summer, all in the Corbett area. Now, prosecutors wanted his bail to stand at over $1 million, but a judge cut that to about $500,000 when friends and family members promised that they wouldn't let Traxler out of their sight. Besides being monitored by an electronic device, 13 family members and friends say they'll make sure the arson suspect is never alone.
In news from around the Northwest tonight, police say a disgruntled employee opened fire at the University of Puget Sound. 2 university employees managed to wrestle the gun away from a groundskeeper. He'd just been fired. They held the man down until police showed up. The shots hit 2 cars, but no one was hurt. The gun was a loaded Glock with a spare clip.
A cross-dressing scam artist who claimed to be the winner of a mega millions-dollar jackpot's in jail tonight. This is an update on something we told you about last night. Hillary Walls was charged with attempted theft today. He was out of jail briefly yesterday when a bondsman posted his bail thinking that Hillary was the $93 million lottery winner. But when the bail bondsman found out the truth, Walls went back to jail. Bail is now set at $25,000.
It was a good year for Oregon forests as far as the gypsy moth goes. Only 10 of the destructive insects were trapped in the state this year. 8 were found here last year. Even though counts are low, the state may spray for the bugs in Lincoln County. 3 gypsy moths were trapped there last summer, and many live eggs were found.
Better get used to this, huh? A
Yeah.
damp night in the Portland area. Take a look at some rain going on in Beaverton. Will the weekend be as wet as it has been? Rod will be in just a bit later with his pinpoint forecast.
Well, if the weather isn't improving your mood, how about a refund from the IRS? The feds say they have millions of dollars in checks unclaimed. The important details coming up.
And new research tonight about sperm. Why city men may be more fertile than men who live in the country. Take a guess as to why, and we'll have the answer coming up a little later on the 10 o'clock news.
One threat.
You have no idea how much I'm about to change your world.
One hope.
I was sending in 007.
With pleasure.
James.
On November 22nd.
Be careful.
Are you a gambling man, Mr. Bond?
If the stakes are right. Live each day like it's your last.
Pleasure of the kill is in the chase.
Let's get down to business. Die Another Day. Rated PG-13. Starts November 22nd at theaters everywhere.
We're making our list. Checking it twice.
It's not what we want, it's what you want.
Well, was he there?
I want my own phone.
Come on.
I just want to use my minutes anytime I want.
No problem.
It's all in your Quest holiday catalog. With over $500 in savings on all kinds of Quest products. Watch your mail or call 1-800-471-8785.
Or shop online at quest.com.
What do you want?
A pony.
Well,
Maybe next year. Happy holidays from Quest.
The Oregon Christmas tree heading to our nation's capital, still far from its destination, and you can follow its route coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
We have all the time in the world. Time enough for life.
Every day, meet Elegant, the redesigned Saturn L Series midsize sedan. Get a 2003 Saturn L Series at 0% APR, 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments for 90 days. See retailer for restrictions.
Tonight's weather report on the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. Look in the white or yellow pages and call today.
My name's Brooke. I live here with my mom, my dad, and my brother Blake.
A recent storm severely damaged many homes in the neighborhood, including the DeYoungs.
It was a big storm. It sounded like big rocks hitting the house.
They called their American Family agent.
This is my bedroom. It's my favorite place.
American Family worked quickly to put their home back the way it was.
I just love my house.
All your protection under one roof.
Thank you.
American Family Insurance.
An equal housing insurer.
Portland school administrators want to cut this year's school year by 15 days. But with the shrinking state revenue, even this may not be enough to balance the books. Here's KPTV's Jim Hyde.
It's an idea that even the superintendent says is atrocious. But Oregon's largest school district is down to some tough choices.
You'll have to be able to look at changes in temperature over time.
Even in a middle school math class, it doesn't add up.
It's cutting school days. You won't get as much learning.
Tubman and other Portland schools knew their year would be 9 days shorter than usual. But with the sick economy continuing to shrink promised state funding, a 15-day cut in teaching days came out of Monday's school board meeting.
That structure, I think, that predictability, and I especially think that quality of instruction does impact kids, and it will impact teachers and administrators and families. 7 a.m. and 36 equals.
Margaret Mars, a teacher's aide and a parent.
If it's 15 days or longer, it could be at least a 2-week paycheck or more. So that would be a huge detriment to our family.
From finding extra childcare to completing graduation requirements, cutting school days complicates lives.
Losing instructional time will not help us get kids to standards. It will make it harder. Unfortunately, all the other choices we have, higher class sizes, aren't going to help either.
And the furlough of school staff, as Superintendent Scherzinger calls it, can't happen without the agreement of teachers. They're already working without a contract, reluctant to give up paid work days and refusing a cap on medical insurance premiums.
The district has dug themselves into a huge hole, and they've continued to spend every cent they had and then some money they didn't have.
Schools could have even fewer pennies. The next state government revenue forecast could continue shrinking, and voters' willingness to approve an income tax surcharge is iffy.
Okay, so you're going to have a whole line of dots.
The public schools budget does not compute.
You got a 42.
The next Portland Teachers and School Board negotiating session is set for December 4th. The state revenue forecast is also due out early next month.
And that's Jim Hyde reporting.
Salem may be getting a new tax on things like movie rentals and pizzas. Today, the City Council looked at a 5% amusement tax paired with a 1% meal tax. The money would be used to fund after-school programs for middle schoolers. Salem would become the only Oregon city with an amusement tax. Ashland is the only other city in the state with a meal tax. The council will vote later this month.
The IRS could be looking for you tonight, and for once, that's good news. The Internal Revenue Service says hundreds of people who live in Oregon are owed more than $1 million in tax refunds. A total of $80 million in undelivered tax refunds are just sitting there for nearly 100,000 people across the country. And here's more good news. It could only take you a couple of minutes to find out if you're in the money. The IRS has set up a website with the names of those who are owed that money, and you can get there by going first to our website at kptv.com.
Well, this year's Capitol Christmas tree, plucked from a forest right here in our state, begins its cross-country tour this week with pit stops throughout Oregon. The 70-foot-tall tree was cut last week in Roseburg. Today, folks in Cottage Grove got to check it out. Tomorrow, the Douglas fir will arrive in Salem. Then it's on the road again. It'll be in Portland on Friday, and then it is eastward bound. The tree arrives in Washington, D.C. on December 2nd.
It is a mild, damp night.
Yeah, the question is, will we see more rain this weekend, Ron?
Well, the tree's like the Olympic torch, isn't it? That's kind of cool, making its grand tour. Okay, yes, it's raining right now. We'll check that out on radar. And although we need the rain, one of the big questions being asked, I know, by many of you, is it going to dry up soon? What about the weekend? We'll talk about all of that. My 10-point forecast coming up in just a bit.
We've all known girls who act like tomboys, but tonight, would you believe scientists are saying girls may not have a choice? That story's next.
And later, we will take you on a wild ride. That's right, Police in Pursuit. Find out how this one ends.
I worked the ice storms of 79 and 80 and the floods of 96.
and the crews are still talking about the Columbus Day storm. And I think the solution to all this jawing about our future isn't much different. Get out there, clear the junk up that needs to be cleared, and keep the juice flowing. Hey, it's not like there's 3 inches of ice on the line.
Portland General Electric. We do this every day.
How do you feel when you don't work out? How do you feel when you do?
At 24-Hour Fitness, whatever your goals are, we can get you there. And it's all designed to make you feel great from the inside out.
Get 25% off enrollment and dues. Call 1-800-204-2400.
It's the way we make you feel.
Couples who live in the country may have a tougher time getting pregnant. Details coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
Ignore them, they're chicken people.
Dublin, Ohio is a town divided between Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss.
Frank, a cheeseburger? Oh, what are you thinking?
And Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger.
I don't see why you can't like both.
What are you eating there, Jimmy? Nothing. Each have hickory smoked bacon and Swiss, so you can't go wrong.
Chicken lover.
Wendy's, it's better here.
It's back. The deal that started them all. And it's better than ever. Mitsubishi's 000. Buy any new Mitsubishi and pay $0 down, 0 interest, and make 0 payments until 2004. Visit your local Mitsubishi retailer today, and you could take home any new Mitsubishi and pay nothing until 2004. The original 000 at Mitsubishi. Hurry, this deal ends soon.
With Total TV from AT&T Broadband, finally you can please all the people all the time. Sports fan, movie buff, news junkie, Total TV's got you covered with everything in our digital platinum package for half price through March 2003. Get all your local channels and cable favorites, digital channels, and multiple screens of every premium channel we offer. Now you can have it all with Total TV. Get free professional installation and up to 250 channels for only $1.50 a day through March 2003. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now.
Welcome back. In HealthCast tonight, if your daughter's a tomboy, there may be a biological reason for her hatred of dresses. Researchers say girls who prefer boys' toys and activities often have mothers with abnormally high levels of testosterone. Girls who are exposed to that testosterone while in the womb often end up with a disorder called congenital adrenal hyperplasia, or CAH. Now, not every tomboy has CAH, but researchers say when they tested tomboys at age 3.5, testosterone was the biggest influence. A new study suggests men who live in rural areas may have a tougher time fathering children than men in big cities. The study compared expecting fathers in New York, Minneapolis, LA, and Missouri. The men from Missouri had sperm counts that were 1/2 to 2/3 lower than the city men. Researchers are testing the theory that agricultural chemicals may be to blame. Since the 1930s, there's been an alarming decrease in sperm count and quality all across the country. And if you love to soak in the hot tub, you should be aware of something called hot tub lung. It's an illness that causes respiratory problems and is most likely caused by bacteria that's released into the air by hot tub bubbles. And it's getting more and more common. The best way to avoid it is by keeping the filter clean and using cleaning chemicals on a regular basis to keep the bacteria from growing. Experts also say you should change the water in your hot tub at least twice a year to avoid buildup of bacteria. That's HealthCast. Wayne, back to you.
And we have a few recalls to tell you about tonight. First, a chainsaw that could catch fire while you're using it. Still is voluntarily recalling about 3,000 chainsaws. It seems that fuel can leak out of the chainsaw's tank, which could cause a fire or injury to someone using it. Still has received 6 reports of the fuel leaking, but so far no fires or injuries have been reported. The recalled Stihl chainsaws include model numbers MS-170 and MS-180C with several different serial numbers. Those saws were sold nationwide from July of 2002 through October 2002. The Rogue River Valley Creamery is recalling its Oregon Blue cheese. It may also be labeled Oregon brand Blue Vein cheese. The cheese may be contaminated with Listeria, a bacteria that can cause serious infections in young children or the elderly. That cheese was packaged on October 11th and it was distributed out of their Central Point store. For more information on these recalls and also many others, you can always check out our website. Just go to kptv.com.
Rod's here now with a check of the weather. Rod?
Yeah, it's raining.
Will be TFN.
Rod's a little disturbed tonight because he's from Missouri and he has a hot tub. So HealthCast was just bad news for Rod all the way around tonight.
The details of HealthCast. It's not good, and I spend time in the country too. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Take a look at how much rain fell today in the metro area. I should tell you, these rainfall totals are actually stopped at a 24-hour period back at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We've had a good bit of rain come in this evening, so that will be added to these totals. At that time, the airport 0.17, Hillsborough 0.22, McMinnville 0.48 inches of rain. Aurora was at 0.28 inches. Now, if you're thinking, okay, it's been raining a lot, boy, it sure would be nice if it stopped. Well, you know, we still need to get more, believe it or not. November so far, 1.27 inches. We're still almost an inch below normal. And, of course, what we really keep tabs on is the water year. The new one, of course, started back on October 1. And remember, October was dry, so our deficit for the water year is still at a pretty impressive, better than 3 inches at 3.21. Okay, yes, it's raining out there right now. Let's take a look at our pinpoint radar tonight. It does appear, at least for the time being, and this is the last wave of rain moving through the region. You see it coming in from west to east. We'll zoom in a little bit. And the yellows, of course, showing you the heavier rains up around Salmon Creek area, and then up 205 and I-5. There's Salmon Creek right there. By the way, kind of cool. I live right in here somewhere. Okay. Anyway, Hazeldale Avenue. No stormy weather tonight. And if you do have plans to be out and about yet this evening, you can tell that most of the metro area is getting rain. If you have plans to be out in a few hours, though, most of this will be moved through by that time. Outside right now, let's take a look at our current conditions. 49 degrees, dew point's at 86, humidity southeast at 6%. Wind is holding steady at, the barometer that should read is holding steady at 30.22 inches. It looks like we're kind of off there, but you get the idea. It's 49 degrees. Okay, around the metro area, temperature is 53 up in Scappoose. Hillsborough is at 51 degrees down McMinnville. It's at 52. Here's what's going on with our weather. This is a cold front. We talked about this last night, the fact that rains will be picking up again late today into the overnight hours. Most of this front is starting to pass us up to the north. You can see there's a definite break in the cloud cover out there. So this last wave pushes through tonight. Does that mean it will be dry tomorrow morning, though? Well, not necessarily. You can see a second low back here, a little disturbance right there. This little disturbance moves up to our north, but the timing is such it could actually help pull some moisture in and give us a chance of showers early in the morning. No stormy weather, no big systems coming in tomorrow, but little bits and pieces of energy to keep that threat. Some showers with the west flow alive for us on your Thursday. Microcast at 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, the blues are rain. You can see not much, but a little bit showing up as a possibility. Again, tomorrow, nothing just to hang your hat on to say this is when most of the rain will fall, but the ongoing chance that we'll get some showers. It doesn't look like a lot. Here we are at 6 o'clock. Again, if you're going to Seattle, if you're going over the Cascades to Bend, most areas fairly dry. 10 o'clock Friday morning, this shows us dry. Right now, the models are showing a pretty good east flow from a surface high on Friday that would give us dry weather most of the day, although maybe by Friday night, rains come back. We'll detail that more on the 7-day forecast for you. 55 down Newport tomorrow. Odds are decent. You'll get some sun breaks in the afternoon. Odds are better that the sun won't break out much at all from Tillamook. And then cloudy skies and the ongoing chance of rain by the time you get up to Long Beach and Astoria tomorrow, with your temperature Long Beach 57 after a morning low of 47 degrees.